So, a new season of The Amazing World of Gumball is finally out. So, I'm gonna draw them as humans. Oh, excuse me. We won't be changing their art style much. The literal only thing we'll be changing is they're not humans, and now they will be humans. Starting with Nicole. Okay, so Nicole, I'm gonna make her Asian. I mean, obviously in the show she doesn't have a race. She's a cat. If you just watch the show, I feel like it's kind of clear that she's like super Asian coded. I mean, ignoring the like strict parents, like that one episode. I'm not even gonna talk about that one. What about the fact that she grew up with Masami's mom, who's like this, who is this like stylized cloud person, and she speaks in an Asian accent. The cloud person, not Nicole. And Masami's dad looks looks like this. So we could I'm just gonna assume that both Masami's parents are Asian. Nicole grew up with Masami's mom. Nicole is probably Asian. Plus, her idea for a Burger Mart commercial was like super, Japan coded. I don't know. That could be any Asian country. I just think of Japanese commercials when I see it. I don't think I've ever seen a Chinese commercial though, so maybe I'm just out of touch. Richard Watterson. When I was drawing him, I was thinking like, what race would he be? Not sure, right? But looking at Richard's father, something about him. Slicked back hair. His name is Louis? Are we sure it's not Luigi? That man is clearly from New York. White man from New York. Greasy hair. I think I think Italian. That would make Richard half Italian, half just, I guess, Southern. He's white. Richard is white. So I did kind of trace his face straight from the character a little bit, just to make sure like the eyes and nose are like the same proportion. But then everything else I did just make up by myself. So like he's definitely bald. There's a whole episode about that. But when it comes to like hairstyles, Richard Watterson would 100% have a mullet. That's just like, it's an opinion, but I think it's a fact. I mean, I could just go through with the excuse that he just dyes his hair or something, but I don't know. The Wattersons, they don't give off like, I don't know, they don't feel like they dye their hair. I mean, the only character that I could see dyeing his hair is Gumball. So I'm gonna try to give them pretty natural hair colors. So I think Richard would probably be like, he's the same color as his mom, so he would look more like his mom, right, than his dad. So maybe he's blonde as well. But I'm gonna say that he's like strawberry blonde. But yeah, I think I managed to make him look, effectively adorable. Even though he's like a adult grown man. Like, how do you make a grown man look cute? And also kind of stupid, but in an endearing way. And I think I managed it. Yeah, he can't be dumb and ugly. He has to have something going for him, and he's a little cute. Let's all be real. I ain't gay. Okay, now Anais is Gumball and Darwin's younger sister, and she takes off of her father more. So we have to make her look like her dad, but we also have to introduce traits from Nicole. So what I'm gonna do is give her, the pink skin. Also, can you believe she's 4? Like, like Jesus. She's 4 years old. I always forget that because she skipped a grade and then she skipped a lot of grades. She should be in like uh preschool or something, or elementary, but she's in middle school. So, super genius, good for her. I'm gonna give her this hairstyle, where she has like it's looped, right? So, the hair would go down straight, right? Super straight hair, but then it like goes down and then it like curls back up, like it loops back up, and then you like tie it. And doing that kind of gives her this like rabbit ear look. I think that's the best way to get like the ears, because I did give Richard like curly hair, kind of like Greg Universe. So maybe I could have done something like that, but they need to be like put into two different like ponytails. I could have done braids. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I could have done like braids with her hair. But this works too. You know, this works. This is fine. I do think she has a lot of hair for a 4-year-old though, so moving on. I like the idea of her having these little like straps on her shoes, like the Velcro shoes, because she is 4. And I just like that idea because it implies that even though she's like smart enough to go into middle school earlier, she still can't tie her shoes. And she's the only one in her family with shoes. Man, talk about lower middle class, am I right? Like, yeesh. Her and Darwin. And Darwin's been rocking the same pair since. I think I'm gonna give Anais slightly darker hair than Richard. The same like tint as Richard, but a little bit darker, so that her hair looks less strawberry blonde and more of a like pinkish brown color. I think that's gonna look like a really unique color of pink. That's gonna be unique. But yeah, it will come off as like brown instead of blonde. I swear, I'd be spamming the peace sign literally anytime I'm taking a picture. Peace, peace, peace. Sometimes I do the like 2 peace signs like a bukkake. Um. Anyways, let's get the 4-year-old off screen. I don't want to talk about this. So yeah, why am I doing Gumball and Darwin together? I mean, do we have to ask? They're kind of inseparable. Inseparable? Inseparable is such a dumb thing to say. Now, Darwin, being the bottom in this relationship, he's holding Gumball up while he's kind of like, I don't know, like messing with him. He's like pulling his mouth. Darwin, I was gonna have him like grabbing Gumball by the arm, but now I think the more I think about it, I think it's better if he's just kind of raising his hand up like he's about to put up a peace sign as well. Yeah. For Darwin, I was thinking like, you remember back in the earlier episodes where he had that little black shading under his legs, I guess to cover up his fish, his fish thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what is that? Is that a sensor line or something? Who knows? I turned them into shorts even though he doesn't have them anymore in the newer episodes. I was gonna give him a raincoat at one point, but it just clashed so much. Like, raincoat made sense because, he's a fish, water, rain. I feel like I'm just saying words now. But I ended up just going for the hoodie because it's like raincoat and black shorts. Black basketball shorts and a raincoat don't really go together. With Converses. What? Like, no. I wanted to give Darwin like wide eyes, kind of like like wide, what do you call it? Eyes that are far apart, kind of like to give off fish vibe, I guess. Far set eyes, whatever they're called. Um I don't know if I depicted that well because I did kind of close one of his eyes, maybe they're not far enough apart.
Him having to evolve and change himself to fit in kind of makes sense for someone who was, put into the foster care system at a young age, and wasn't adopted for like the first couple years of his life, like first 5 years maybe. So he's constantly just like adapting and changing himself.
All the characters wear some pretty like bland standard clothing. Nothing super flashy or interesting. Um, and the biggest person this is a problem with is Gumball because his skin is blue, but the only actual piece of his outfit that is blue is his skin. None of it actually. All his clothes are brown, beige, gray. That's such a boring color palette. So I mean, he doesn't wear shoes, so I can give him blue shoes. But I don't really want to give him blue hair because, does Gumball really give off the vibe of someone that would like dye his hair? I don't know. I guess I could see it maybe if he's like, it was like a phase, he was trying to look cool in front of Penny. So he just dyed his hair and just kept on doing it? I don't know. I could see that. Maybe he dyed his hair for a gag, right? Just like one of those crazy things that Gumball does in the background, and it just hasn't grown out yet. So that would be a good reason for him to have blue hair at the age of 12. 12-year-olds do weird things. Like, these are things that these characters would do. I just don't know if they would do it in middle school. It's kind of lazy to draw them both having the exact type of same shoe. I swear, guys, it's sometimes I think I learned how to talk from a. That's all. That's all of them wrapped up. Mr. Mom, Mr. Dad, Anais, Gumball, and Darwin. Yeah, I think this is really just perfect. Perfectly represents them. Um. So yeah, I'm gonna put them all next to each other, side by side, just to, get the whole family together. And wow, it looks like Nicole's about to spill coffee on Anais. It- oh wow. Nah, she'll be fine. She'll be fine. If she's so smart, she'll just get out the way. Am I right, y'all? Mm-mm-mm. What am I yapping about? Anyways, that's basically it for the video.